Breaking news from NASA California, where we have planned to send spaceships to the moon to utilize their water, minerals, and energy. Layla Artus is on site to help us have a better understanding about NASA's plan to colonize the moon. Off to you, Layla.
Thank you, Brian. I'm currently in NASA, California, where NASA is researching farming methods for moon colonies and astronauts on lengthy missions. These crops would have a dual purpose. The plants would provide astronauts with a healthy diet and also replace toxic carbon dioxide with oxygen. But growing crops on the moon is obviously nothing like farming on Earth. Scientists must figure out the perfect combination of light, temperature, and carbon dioxide to grow plants outside of Earth's atmosphere. Advantage 1. If we go to the moon, we will be easing world energy problems. According to Universe.com, 1.6 billion people on Earth don't have access to electricity. The World Bank estimates that 1.1 billion people live in extreme poverty, which leads to 8 million premature deaths every year. In developed countries, higher quality of life is achieved only through a high rate of energy use. Increased energy supply is needed for economic and social development, improved quality of life, and to grow enough food to provide for the citizens of the developing world. Unless something is done, the world will be faced with a crisis of enormous proportions. The United Nations estimates the world population will be approximately 9.1 billion by 2050, with virtually all growth in the 50th poorest countries. The choices that the global society makes to provide for future energy will have a profound effect on humanity and the environment. Now get this, supplying energy from the moon will help us to help provide the Earth's energy needs without destroying our environment. Okay, so I have to ask you a question. What if we had a global disaster? Well, if we had a global disaster and it hits our world, we would be short the basic necessities for survivors. It is the utmost importance to prepare our world for what is yet to come. If we colonize the moon and bring its energy from our Earth, we would be a happier place. Turns out, we could do just that. NationalGeographic.com states proposes a lunar solar power system, also known as LSP. Using lunar materials to build bases on the moon to collect solar energy and convert it to microwaves, which would be beamed to several thousand receivers around the Earth, the microwaves would then be converted into electricity to be fed into our local power grids. Again, they state the proposed LSP system would consist of between 20 and 40 power bases located on the eastern and western edge of the moon, as seen from Earth. Criswell, a well-known scientist, estimates that in 2050, a population of about 10 billion would require about 20 terawatts of power. That's a lot of power. The moon receives more than just 13,000 terawatts of power, of solar power, and harnessing just 1% could satisfy Earth's power needs. The United States federal government should increase its development of the Earth's moon in one or more of the following areas: energy, minerals, and/or water. The minerals found in the moon could be highly beneficial to Earth's atmosphere. That is my second advantage. The Earth is facing an extreme lack of quality and rich materials. Our global civilization is already highly dependent on Earth orbiting satellites for communications, navigation, weather forecasting, and research management, and this reliance is likely to increase. The high costs of these activities are largely dictated by high launch costs and by the fact that failed satellites cannot currently be repaired or replenished in orbit. The availability of resources obtained from the weaker gravity conditions of the moon would help mitigate these obstacles to further economic development in Earth's orbit. Near-term lunar exports to assist lunar infrastructure could include the supply of hydrogen and oxygen as a rocket fuel. Yeah! According to NBCNews.com, iron could be used to build structures on the moon. Hey, look at that. Aluminum, titanium, and magnesium can be used in making spacecraft to go deeper into cosmos and making Earth orbiting factories that can create alloys and crystals in zero gravity. Whoa, that's crazy. Also, the lunar soil could be melted and poured into cast to make blocks for construction. Gerald Kolsvinsky, director of the University of Wisconsin Fusion Technology Institute, said, "It has shown that they can make water from lunar rocks by heating them, which causes their hydrogen to react with oxygen." With both of these advantages addressed, I want to propose a plan to go to the moon and extract its minerals, water, and energy. By several space explorations funded by NASA, we will visit the moon 4 times a year and have astronauts live there, as well as take back what the Earth could use as well. Isn't sharing the whole part of being the man on the moon? I'll be that man on the moon, and I'ma do what I